Hey folks, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, I'm Julianne Hoore, the bearded bombshell of the Edinburgh drag scene, and today we are going to do my final look for Halloween season, which is inspired by an artist called Beeb Artist, I believe their name is, and the original character Mr. Oyster, and I was inspired by this particular look, which was part of a burlesque series of posts for a competition that they were doing called Drag the Runway. And as you can see just behind me here, I've got a little flesh suit that I'm going to be getting into. Don't know if you can quite tell. Stoned it a little bit, and this is going to take me probably quite a while to do. What I aim to do is do a flesh inspired makeup, just continuing basically the look that I've got there on my face. Hopefully it works out. If not, I'll film this again. Hey, so wasn't happy with the first round of how I did this 2 days ago. I did it on Saturday, and yeah, it just wasn't going to how I planned. So I'm actually, this Monday now, to try again. I don't think I planned it out very well. I kind of really want to have a good mix of what the anatomy looks like and what drag makeup looks like, and I just didn't plan it out very well. So I've done a little face chart, or half face chart, on my iPad here, so hopefully this will give me a better idea of how I want it, how to basically achieve the look. Fingers crossed. Otherwise I don't know what I'm going to do. Wish me luck. Alright, so we're starting off with the base and highlight already done, and I'm going in with the cream contour palette with the peachy kind of shade, just kind of outline exactly where I want my contour to go. So I'm kind of doing more of a gaunt look, whereas opposed to what I did with my Madam Madness look and what she does with her makeup. I'm not putting the highlight underneath, I'm putting that on top and doing the contour underneath, kind of more like a drag king would do. So I went in with the peach shade first, and then I'm going in with the red to outline it, and then start adding those lines that you get when you see muscles and anatomy pictures. So I'm going in with the red first, kind of line those out. I'll pop some white lines in there just now as well, just kind of get some highlights. And then what I do as well is I just go back with the red just to clean those up, because I was a little bit messy with those, which I'm doing just now, as you can see, and trying to get an idea for a shape of how I want the muscles to move through that bit. And I take a black there just to kind of deepen up a little bit more. I really want, as always, a nice sharp contour, and then I take that dark lines and I kind of emphasize what I've already done already with the red as well. I always kind of go back and forth between colours, kind of, especially with the red. I want it to be as bright as possible, so it's making sure I get a good blend of the two. Doing the same thing up on the top of my head pretty much, but just not as dark. So I actually kind of wanted an eyebrow shape to kind of have similar features to what I normally do, so I do the red from, again, just a cream palette, I haven't powdered yet. Did an eyebrow shape, and I'm taking the lines up to my forehead, yeah, and just continuing the same lines that I would with the muscles, going up. Got some highlights in there, and then powdering my face, just to make sure that's all properly set, and it's not going anywhere. I'm taking my Give Face Cosmetics construction palette, taking the red, purple, I was thinking some of the blacks as well, just to redefine what has kind of faded a little bit. So going with the red first, of course, just to get those muscle colours back, and then I deepen it up with the purple shade first, and kind of going back and forth again, as I've already said, just kind of get a rich, vibrant colour there, but also make sure it's a deep contrast to what would be my highlight on the other side of the cheek. Yeah, I think it looks great. I'm very happy with this round of it, whereas before I tried to do it like I would normally do my contour, but it just wasn't working. I wasn't happy with it, so I took a day off and was like, try again, and this turned out so much better. Again, taking the red from my palette, and just popping it on my forehead. And I take the Zomer shade from the Nikki Tutorials Beauty Bay palette, just because I felt the background of it was just too much similar to my actual skin tone that I've got, my foundation. So I pop that on just to kind of differentiate the two, and then pop in with the highlights again, and just kind of create some variation between the two. Do my nose contour, pretty much the same as always, find out where I've got my peak, drawing the lines up, and using just a red shade again from my Give Face palette, and then the purple as well in a second. Remember, if you want to get 10% off, use code Julianne on checkout on anything from the Give Face Cosmetics website, which includes wigs, contact lenses, and a whole bunch of other wonderful products as well. All links for that will be in the description down below. And of course now I'm going in with my highlights for my eyebrows, and then my nose as well there. I kind of go further into my eye because I want my whites of my eye to be as bright as possible, because there's going to be a lot of detail work in there. So I'm going in early on those now, and I'll go back in again shortly when I'm doing my eyes. Again, I kind of wanted to have those muscle kind of texture lines on my eyes, very small detailed work, so very important to get that as bright as possible. And then taking the highlight just down where my contour is as well. Got to clean it all up. Last of all, of course, the bridge of my nose as well needs its highlight. Okay, so I actually take the Zomer shade again from the Nikki Tutorials palette. It's kind of my starting place with my eye, creating a crease as I so often do, and then going with the red from my construction palette. I was going to use the red Mikai shade from the Nikki Tutorials palette, but I prefer the red from my construction palette, and then I'll deepen that up later with the purple as well. But I want to make sure I had as much space to work with when I was going with the details, so I'm taking the white, as I said, or again, and trying to create the largest crease I possibly can, and then going in with the details afterwards. And then I'm going with the purple around it, and then doing my lines with the red. This took me quite some time. Very happy with the end result, but I would say it's not really a stage look for all this detailed work. It's definitely a photo shoot image, but yeah, I'm very, very happy with how this turned out in the end. I'm not very great with such detailed lines, it takes me forever, so getting this through was wonderful. And again, using the purple shades, just kind of blend it between dark and light, and just made it really pop as well. So I popped some eyeliner on with my gel liner, and then I'm blending that out. So I'm using reds, purples. I do go in with black as well, and just create a really, really dark and sharp difference between the lightness of the lids and then the dark of the crease. Just got to build up that colour, you know, so you don't lose any of that red pigment, which has wonderfully stained my eyelids, of course, but it's worth it. Alright, so just pop some whites as well in there, again just to brighten that up and create some texture, and define the line work a little bit more, so it looks really good in the end. Really happy with that. Of course, I popped a white under my eyes as well, and then we're going in with the black as well, just to create that snatch look that I love so much. So yeah, black in with the, again, just a black from the Give Face Cosmetics palette that I've got, and then we'll just take the same shades that we've taken from the eye, so the Zomer shade from the Beauty Bay palette, and then the reds and purple from my Cosmetics palette as well. Yeah, looks great. Take the Zomer as well, just to kind of add a kind of blush to my face. It's got to be drag makeup, so you've got to have a bit of blush. And then take the, I believe it's the Aura shade from the Beauty Bay Nikki Tutorials palette, which has a pinky with gold reflex, which is really, really beautiful. Best applied with fingers. I try it with brush all the time, but I end up going with my fingers all the time. So yeah, highly worth it if you get it just for the highlights and glitter shade, sorry. And I'm going in with black for my beard. I'll be wearing a black wig, so going back in. I tried going in with the grease palette first and then setting in the black, but I just feel I'm just using the same amount of products when I'm trying to use my eyeshadows, so it's like, is it really worth it? I really need to invest in getting an actual black like hair wax. And then I also, here you can see I'm just trying to create some lines and kind of make it a bit more dramatic, being a more creative look, kind of, you know, push the boat a little bit, try something new. So yeah, I'm really happy with this and how it's turning out. You can see I'm feeling myself there. And so then just popping on some lipstick, so it's the Makeup Revolution red lipstick, and then we'll pop on some lashes and we'll get into the final look. And this is the final transformation, second time round. The first idea I had for this was to kind of go with the original art and kind of do a burlesque theme. When I tried it on with gloves and suspenders, it just wasn't enough, and then I had like a sleek ponytail on, so I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. Then I restyled the wig to be this, big 80s crimped, huge, fluffy, which I absolutely love. And popped it with the leather jacket and these UVC gloves, and honestly, phenomenal, like literally so much better. Of course, a lot of the details in the makeup are quite small, so hopefully you kind of picked up on those details. Probably not a stage look with the makeup, but I can see myself wearing this on stage for no good reason, just to a random dance track. Had so much fun creating all this Halloween content this past month, and culminating in this look is probably what I would have worn this Halloween. Had this back in mind when I seen the original drawing by Beeb Artist and their Mr. Oyster character, so I think I would have ended up wearing this set for Halloween. Wasn't quite sure how this bodysuit was going to turn out. It is fairly anatomically correct in terms of positioning, but I wasn't sure how it was going to take with the corset and the pads and how that would change it. Very happy with the final result. Got this on AliExpress for like £20 and it came within like a week, so pretty happy with it. And of course, being a drag queen, gotta add some stones to a bodysuit. Enjoy the video, make sure to press the like button. If you're not already, subscribe and the bell icon so you get notified every time I upload a brand new video. If you want to check out more of me, make sure to go over to Facebook and Instagram at Julianne Hoore, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye folks.